Chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted. Look, taking the lead, we don't follow. We need it now, not tomorrow. Don't care what they say, not changing the pace. Working too hard to be last in the race. So much time in the day, and it ain't none to waste. Working this hard to be one of the greats. Whatever it takes, put that on the plate. Life is a gamble, we raising the stakes. Moving the bar up so high. Been on our grind, for life. Bringing the light, you just so bright. We shining, platinum sound cool, but we trying to reach diamond. Hard work pays off, that's perfect timing. Changing the world with this rhyming, it's priceless. We got the nicest by putting the time in. Can't be the greatest, you're not even trying. What now? We on the chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted. What now? We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. What now? We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up.
Track of time, I apologize, mama. Go ahead and eat without me. I'm still on the grind. I ain't touching home base by dinner time. All I can see is the finish line. Started, I gotta finish mine. It's get it time, anytime, hella long. I've been in line, I didn't mind it all. Wake and bake won't take a break at all. That's on my word, my boss. Naming lights gon' have to pay me twice or pay me no mind, and I don't mind it all. My grind is green, I am my job to inspire. I'm right behind Goats, a line has been fired by a chain for a time. I ain't get hired, second wind kicked in, I probably won't get tired. Kevin Gates or Kevin Bacon, only 6 degrees of separation between me and the next level of elevation. Perseverance, the art of dedication.
What now? We on the chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted.
Hello everybody, welcome in. How are we all doing tonight? It has finally arrived, our finale for the GT3 Summer Series number 2. Mxbloxom is our defending champion coming into our final round of racing here today, and right now it looks like Johnny B has a stranglehold on that championship. However, this is racing, folks, and anything can happen yet. So, all the drivers are here, they're on the grid, and they're going to battle it for a championship trophy here at the end of the season. Now, I haven't quite gone and familiarized myself with our standings, so let's go do that right now. I actually don't see results from last week. Alright, we can't give you a breakdown on the standings because I can't find the updated standings, so I do apologize. That's on me. Hey, let's go, Jakey, says Lucas. How was your race, my dude? Hope you guys just had a good race. Alright, so as you can see here, we're just on our intermission screen until qualifying gets underway. We have about 3 minutes. So we're going to see a 15-minute qualifying run here tonight at Silverstone. And it's going to be a 1-hour endurance race here for our drivers in our finale. Now, the drivers have only had 6 sets of tires they're allowed to use from the time of practice until the end of the racing of the checkered flag. So, of course, that has to be considered into your race strategy. And it is a 1 mandatory stop for fuel only here in the race today. That is our pit requirement here from our drivers. So as I was saying, Johnny B has a lead right now coming into the finale round, and I think it's a decent little gap. So again, anything can happen. He could have a bad race start, he could get involved in a crash, anything could happen. He could spin, he could end up at the back of the pack, and that could open it right back up for one of these drivers that may have not got the best result last week into the standings. Plus there's drop rounds that need to be factored in, so I'm not 100% sure exactly where the standings are settling in right now, but it's definitely close between Josh Hart, Mxbloxom, and Johnny B. Those are the 3 guys we're going to be looking out for mainly here tonight to be pushing the front of that pack and try to lock down a championship here in the GT3 Summer Series 2. And of course, this is presented by Infinite Racing League and partnered with Coach Dave Academy. So welcome in, everybody, family-friendly broadcast, and I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. So we hope everybody is ready for what should be some pretty good racing here tonight. It was a fun race. Jake Payton and myself were nose to tail most of the first stint. Them boys just too darn fast up front. Yeah, that's a fast lobby. Let's grow, my guy. Hey, Nolander, appreciate the races earlier today, my guy. I had to dip because I had to get ready for the broadcast, but appreciate the races earlier, my dude. They were fun. Alright, so ACC PS5, that's it. This is going to be the final one for this season, and then we'll have a 1-week break in between the seasons, and then a new season will fire up here again from the Infinite Racing League. However, we'll post some details in the Discord server, of course, involving all of that once we got all that information available to everybody. And of course, we will miss the first week ourselves here as a broadcaster due to other things that are going on, so we should be back for potentially week 2 for the next upcoming series here from our Infinite Racing League group, but that doesn't mean it won't be broadcast. One of the great members over there at IRL, Choco, will take over the comms for week number 1 and bang out the first season opener there of the new series coming. So that being said, there's also some other fun things happening behind the scenes over there at IRL and here at GT45 Gaming, and should be something interesting maybe coming here in the near future. So keep your eyes open on both those Discord servers, because you just never know what's coming next. So, finale night, I mean, it's been between these 3 drivers all season long. Rapid Duck was in a huge part of this early on in the season, and then we just kind of fell out of the hunt for the championship here, had a couple of bad races, and of course, when you got some of these drivers that you're competing against here in this series, it is very tough to make up that time once you've made that mistake. So it is what it is. Of course, one of our administrators here as well, so taking the time to do the behind the scenes work as well, which is always important, and a lot of work goes into it. So first and foremost, I want to thank Infinite Racing League and of course their administration team for all the hard work they put in all season long. They have been dealing with some pretty huge issues as far as the servers go right now, and they have fought through it. The communities work together with the administration staff here, and here we are tonight, finally able to get our Silverstone race out. So if we've been following the series all season long, some of us remember, of course, Silverstone was red flagged with about 70% of the race complete, maybe a little bit less at that point in time. Track officials and of course race control here at Silverstone had a bad weather system coming in, decided just to shut the race down for the safety of the racers and of course the spectators on track involved. So postponed race now comes to the end of the season, so technically we're racing round 1, which now becomes finale night here, and honestly, I'm not too sad about that. Silverstone is a great racing track, and it's going to provide for a great finale race here tonight. 1-hour race, fuel, mandatory stop here today, and it should be interesting to see how everybody sorts themselves out around this very high-speed, technical but fun, fast circuit here. I mean, this is like the Beatles or rock and roll Silverstone here. You hear its name, you know exactly what people are talking about, and it puts a smile on your face. So, great track here to finish the season off, in my personal opinion, anyways. But yeah, huge love to IRL staff, team, for doing what they do. I mean, it's top level work what they're doing behind the scenes here, handling the drivers, and of course all this is done through SimGrid, so they're a great partnership with SimGrid here as well. It's a lot of fun here from the Infinite Racing League, and a great platform on ACC PS5 version here as well. So just continues to get bigger and more popular. 30-car grids is really where it's at. I mean, it's absolutely amazing to have that many drivers able to compete against each other at the same time. There's a lot of things here that are great. So we're just hoping for a better spectator mode here in the upcoming future and updates. But hey, still a great platform and a great racing platform as well. Very simulated, and that's what really a lot of the sim racers like. They like that real feel. So ACC definitely provides that for you. Alright, so we got our McLaren driver, Josh Hart, out first here. We're going to just sit with him here right now on the racetrack. He had a malfunction with this race car last week, and it actually forced him to have to put it in pit lane, and that ended his potential sights for that championship. He was going to be coming in, I think, with a very small points lead over Johnny B if he didn't have that mechanical failure in his racing car last week, and I think that may have dropped him a few points down and behind Johnny B now. But this guy's here, he ain't giving up, and like I said, racing's racing. Anything can happen. We've seen it so many times here, especially in this great summer series that we've had rolling all summer long. The first summer series was spectacular, and the second one has been no different here from the Infinite Racing League as well. So we're just going to do a quick little peek-sees here. We're going to go through the live streams, make sure everything looks like it's moving correctly. We are on 3 channels live here right now: the GT45 Gaming Facebook and YouTube channel, and of course the Infinite Racing League YouTube channel as well. TDC coming in with the share on the stream, and Nolander and TDC also coming in with the hearts on the stream. We appreciate you. Hello, everybody viewing over there on YouTube. We see you and appreciate you as well. Happy Thanksgiving to our Canadian viewers. I hope everybody has had a great fill of great food, and maybe you're just getting to that point right now. Bon appetit, enjoy your dinner, and I hope that the time with family is what everybody's taking away from today here and tomorrow over the next couple of days of the Canadian holiday here. And well, if you're looking for something to do after filling your bellies and thinking about that old man nap in your stretchy pants, turn on the ACC PS5 race, and we'll give you something absolutely spectacular to watch here to finish off your Thanksgiving evening with your family. It's a totally family-friendly broadcast. Kids are also welcome to watch, ladies and gentlemen. So we are under qualifying conditions here, and this is a very lengthy racetrack. It's going to be 2-minute plus laps here around Silverstone today. And we are now officially on a flying lap here with Josh Hart in the McLaren, and very fast driver. He's going to be one of the drivers to be looking for to push the pace of the race here today like he has all season long. So we are going to see what he's got when he comes across the line here, and I believe this is just the backside of the racetrack at this point. We still got half a racetrack to go around here, and like I said, great racing racetrack here. And championships have been lost and won on this racetrack over the years, without a question of a doubt. Got Cody Bass coming in with the thumbs up. We appreciate you, my dude. Hope you're having a great day. Hope your weekend's been fantastic. So, we got some time off tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, here from GT45 Gaming, so be on the lookout for something during the day from the page here. We're going to dip back into some Assassin's Creed Mirage here tomorrow during the day, and then, of course, we got our finale week at Roving Island World Tour later in the evening, so definitely be on the lookout for some content tomorrow here on our Thanksgiving holiday, day away from work. Love that. Alright, here we go. Coming around the final corner here. Let's see what he's got. It is a 1:58.640 here from Josh Hart on his first flying lap. So now we're going to jump on with Irish Jerry here, and our information will finally pop up now that we've pushed a button on the screen here, so we can get some of that juicy information we're always looking for. We are going to be testing some new things for our broadcast coming into next season as well. We're going to be, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. If it all works out the way we hope, it's going to be absolutely spectacular. So, yeah. Irish Jerry here, currently sitting in 8th as he comes around the final corner here. And let's see what he's got here. It's a 2:03. It's good enough for 6th place currently on the grid. We've got Racing Hobo coming through here in the McLaren. Let's see what he's got. It's an out lap, so it doesn't matter. We got Lamine here in 11th place out on the grid. And let's see where she comes across here on her first set of hot laps of the race here as well. And I do believe she's at that point here. We have a yellow flag up ahead there, and it's a 2:03.9, so it's good enough for 10th place there. We got Yakast here in 11th. Was very, very quick last week at Nürburgring GP, so should be interesting to see how he handles Silverstone here today. And I believe he's got Nedward just up ahead of him there as well. So these are going to be second laps for these drivers here. Got Johnny B just on his flying lap here right now, I think. Let's see what he's got as he comes across here. I believe it's only the midway points. That is the midway point, so we still got half a lap to go here for Johnny B. And it appears to be Fluka just in behind him there as well, who is third place on the grid here currently right now with a registered lap. So Johnny B opting to come out a little bit later into qualifying here. Maybe that's set by design. Maybe there's something he knows that the rest of the drivers didn't catch on to, but he is now out on track. We got a McLaren making a little bit of a mistake up ahead, just getting out of the way there. There's good recognition from the drivers, and you can see that number 2 on the car here is Johnny B. Lost that title to Mxbloxom in the first summer series, so he's definitely looking to get that number 1 back on his car here this season, and that's why he's got the number 2 plastered on his car, because he is, well, second to our champion Mxbloxom right now. I don't even know if Bloxom is actually in the race here today. I haven't seen his name come up yet. We got Bombastico here. He's in 12th right now. We got Delta Mike in 18th. We got GLR Seal here in 18th as he comes across the line right there. We've got Edward sitting in 11th position. We got JP in the Lamborghini currently sitting in 3rd right now. We've got Cletus in 6th. It's a very good pace driver here. He's been battling up front all season long as well. Fluka here has been battling up in that top 5-6 positions here all season long as well. Currently in 4th in qualifying. We've got Vic here. He's a newcomer about midway through the season, maybe a little later than midway, and currently sitting in 6th. He's got good pace there. We got Tango 2 here in 8th position as well. Nacho Gearbox coming out there. Looks like it's going to be his first attempt as he comes out. We got Vieira here in 9th position. Had a very tough race at Nürburgring GP last week. A car ended up totaled, and looks like they got a new car out on track here, and he's going to give it another run, but currently sitting in 9th place. We've got a Hampton fan here, new driver on the track, and we see in that Ferrari here as well, so be interesting to see what he's got for the competitors here today. We've got Choco in that Ferrari here in 17th position. We've got Apex and Racing's Jakey back here in the Bentley as well for another run here. He got a great 7th place finish, I believe it was last week at Nürburgring GP, in his ever first appearance on ACC PS5 and first ever competitive race on ACC PS5 as well. So had a pretty good showing last week. It'd be interesting to see what that Bentley can do here at Silverstone this week. Got Average Jerry in 15th. We got Racing Hobo in 20th. We got Lamine currently sitting in 12th. We've got Yakcast in 18th. There he is. Johnny B currently sitting 2nd with a 159.172. And only sitting behind, I believe, probably Josh Hart right now. We've got Dan SN here. He's back this week. We love to see that. And currently sitting 11th on the track. We got JP here back for some racing, and we haven't seen this driver on track. Well, he showed back up last week, and he absolutely put some pressure on the drivers up battling for the championship and managed to find himself a win last week at his return as well. So very efficient driver is JP, and again, he's going to put the pressure on those front runners without a question of a doubt here today. We got Bombastico currently sitting in 18th. We got Delta Mike in 19th. GLR Seals back on track this week in the Porsche, currently sitting 7th, so feeling pretty good here around Silverstone. We got Nedward in a 13th position as Ferrari 296, and he's had some good racing. He's coming along nicely here. He's starting to get that seat time under his belt here, and he's getting comfortable, and he's starting to show it on the track. Got Cletus in a 5th position. We've got Fluka here in 6th, and we still got just a little under 6 minutes remaining in qualifying here as well. What do we got here? We got Vic now up into 4th in qualifying and a sub 2 minute lap here, 59.3 from him. We got a 2 minutes .767 from Tango 2. We've got Nacho Gearbox here, hasn't recorded a time yet. And he got a 2:01 from Vieira. That's good enough for 10th place currently here on the grid. And again, this guy doesn't necessarily qualify very quickly, but man, does he race well. His race pace and consistency is incredible, and he usually results in some pretty good race finishes for himself. So it's been the case most of the season, with the exception of last week. Again, just involved in a big incident, an absolute total devastation of the front end of his racing car, and it was just a day over for him, unfortunately. But got that new car out, and they're back on track to give it a run here for our finale. So that's what we love to see. We got Jakey currently sitting in 15th here around Silverstone as well, and as we're coming through Maggots and Beckett's here right now, I believe it's a very difficult sector, but a very fun flowing sector, and Bentley's a very stable car, and it's interesting to see how it's going to compete. It competed very well at Nürburgring GP last week, which is a kind of a track you wouldn't expect that car to do well at, and it did very well. So interesting to see what it can do here on Silverstone. It's got lots of power. It's a big, heavy car, but we'll see how it matches up against these new McLarens, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and Porsches here, just recently released in, of course, an ACC PS5. So Lamine currently sitting in 14th, had a good race last week as well. PP Yadcats had a great race finish last week, potentially the best finish of the season. And oh, the curbs just unsettling that back end of that McLaren. And oh, he's just going to hold on, trying to hold on to it, puts it right into the wall. And he's going to bring that thing home into pit lane. So you can see here, you don't want to eat too much curbing. The suspension wasn't ready to take that load, and it just completely broke the rear end of his McLaren free. And at that point, he was just along for the ride, trying to keep the car out of any immediate trouble. So it's Johnny B coming around here, and he is at a 158.877, and is still only good enough here for second position right now on the grid. Josh Hart is our pole sitter down here in our top 10 right now as he's coming around. He's got a Lamborghini in behind there. We've got JP currently sitting third here. He's at a 58.925 here in this Lamborghini as well. And again, going to try and put some pressure on those front runners here this season. Bombastico in 19th position. We got Delta here in 20th. We've got Seal in 8th place, only losing one position since the last time we were sitting on this Porsche driver. We've got Nedward here in 13th. We've got Cletus up into 5th place, so bouncing around a little bit. 4th, 5th, 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th, 5th. Kind of just been all over the place. We got a McLaren just getting out of the way there. I believe that's Irish Jerry as Fluke is coming around. We got Jakey just coming through there and behind as well. So sitting 12th right now is now 11th now, pardon me, is of course the Bentley driver. Fluke coming around here, currently sitting in 5th with a 159.650 from him as well. So our top 6-7 drivers in those sub 2 minute laps, and then we've got a big pack of drivers that are split by hairs here in this 2 minute range. So should be some pack racing happening here at Silverstone tonight. Got Natural Gearbox here in 16th. We got some Roller Vieira here now currently sitting in 8th. He seems happy with that time. He's just waiting in pit lane for qualifying to end at this point. We got Hampton Fan 11 here. He is currently sitting in 17th. So again, newcomer into the series. Welcome in to Infinite Racing League Summer Series, and I hope he enjoys his race here today. We've got Choco up into 12th place here. Choco has been showing some improvement here over the last few weeks as well. The more and more seat time he continues to get in that car, he seems to become more and more comfortable with it. So be interesting to see what he's got going on. We got Bentley off track here. He's just going to make sure it's safe and bring it back in. We've got Josh in the race lead here, in provisional pole position here in qualifying, and the fastest driver so far in qualifying is a 58.175, so not too far ahead of second place driver Johnny B if we can get to him here, which is a 58.8, so about 3/4 of a second gap between the times from first and second place here, so a larger gap than I expected to see there. However, Johnny B is up currently right now on this lap. He's got almost 2.5 tenths here right now as he's coming around. Now, obviously, that's not enough to grab pole position away from Josh Hart, but it is something to continue to build off of as he progresses through his lap here, and losing just a little tiny bit of time there. So it's give and taking a little bit here, but that shows that the driver has some good consistency. Obviously, he's back up to 2 tenths here again, coming out there. And what's it going to be here? This is just a halfway point of the racetrack. So we are going to continue on here as he's 2 tenths of a second up halfway through. Got Edward coming in with the thumbs up on the stream. How you doing, my dude? Hope you're doing wonderful. Alright, so Johnny B, we're sticking with him here. He is up, so he is looking to improve here. Currently sitting up 0.3 of a second on his lap here, and I mean the checkered flag is going to be waving for the majority of the field as they come through, finishing their laps here as the clock is about to run out in 5 seconds. And Johnny is not going to get across that start-finish line before that timer runs out. Ooh, it's going to be close actually. Nope, that is it. It's going to be checkered flag here. Johnny B comes around, and final corner here, he is up 0.3 of a second here, so he does improve 58.597, but again, only going to be good enough for second place here in qualifying. Dan is coming in. We got JP coming through here. Let's see if he was up a little bit there as well. He does improve, and it's actually going to be just enough to leapfrog over Johnny B right there. And that was a 58.557, so literally a hair-splitting second and third place drivers right now. And it's only about 0.4 of a second separating from the pole sitter. Josh Hart got Bombastico getting it a little bit wrong there. That car is going to spin around on him, and that's going to end his qualifying run. Who else is still on track flying? We got Cletus on a flyer here, so let's stick with Cletus here. As he comes around, he's currently sitting 6th in the grid right now, and he is up by quite a bit here, a big chunk, almost 0.4 of a second at the midway point around the circuit here. So let's see if he can find the rest of it here as he comes around the final, third of the circuit. I guess it's a little further over than half, but we got just a couple minutes remaining here, so he's really got to get tracking if he wants to record this lap here. And we're getting near the point where he's going to be able to hopefully improve on his time a little bit, move him up maybe 1 or 2 spots in the grid here before the end of this thing. It's a 59.3 right now. He's looking at maybe a 58, potentially 59 flat, but he's losing just a tiny little bit of time out of that final section of corners there. So now we're leading into what's going to be the final chase here for the start finish line. He's just got this corner and another one to go, and then it's going to be that charge down in through the final corner to the start finish line here. And ooh, big little wiggle right there. One more corner. There we go. More of a kink than it is a corner here. And oh, he lost it there. He is going to stay in 6th, so that wiggle did catch, definitely did cost him that last little bit of time he was looking for there on that lap. And he is going to settle into 6th place here in our race. We got 21 drivers on track here. Let's sit with this driver here for our race start tonight. So we're going to have a 1-hour endurance race on our hands here tonight, and this is finale. So after this race is settled and every results are official, these guys will be crowning a champion. I'm pretty sure that it is Johnny B right now that is in the lead for that championship battle, and it has been kind of changing hands throughout the whole season, but I believe it's a little bit of a cushioned lead at this point now. Of course, with Josh Hart again having mechanical failure in his race car last week and having to retire early. I think he was about 23 laps down by the end of the race there, so that definitely hurt his charge in the standings. And you know, he's going to be doing everything he can to win this race today without a question of a doubt, and then just see if a little bit of racing luck is on his side or not. But Johnny B is the guy we're watching here tonight, as he just needs to finish very close to the top end of that grid, and that should be enough for him to lock down a championship here from our Summer Series 2 and take it back away from Mxbloxom. So they've been passing that title around here over the last couple seasons between the two of them, and well, it all comes down here tonight and what's going to happen at the end of this 1-hour race. So again, mandatory pit stop for fuel here, so it's a 1-stop mandatory stop. The drivers have only had 6 sets of tires all week long, of course, to navigate and practice with, so that has had to factor into their strategy here. And we'll be waiting basically now just to get our guided formation lap here on the racetrack. So what we're going to see next is a timer will come up for 3 minutes. We'll see the drivers line up in order they qualified in on the starting grid. And once that 3-minute timer is up, race control will start to send them out one by one in single line formation to take a virtual safety car lap around the racetrack. From there, they'll be designated to stay within a certain amount of speed. We'll see them swerve side to side, left to right to warm up their tires. We'll see them speed up aggressively, brake really hard, try to warm up the brake pads, just kind of get the car locked in, ready to go for when that green flag drops. So when we get to about 95% of the way around Silverstone here, we'll see the drivers line up in those final 2 or 3 corners side by side, of course in the position that they qualified in, and as they come around the final kink, they lead to the start finish line. Of course, that green flag drops if race control is happy with the lineup, and we go racing conditions for 1 hour here tonight and finale night. So It is all on the line here tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top. 21 drivers start our grid here tonight out of the potential 30 that could be here, and it's going to be a good race. So as you can see, we got that 3-minute timer up on the screen there. Once we get down into the 30-second mark, it lets me jump back on track with our TV camera crew, and then of course from there we'll flip over the stream to the big screen so you guys get the full look at the action that is about to unfold in front of our very own eyes here tonight. So it is Josh Hart in first place, with JP in second. It's going to be Johnny B and Vic in row 2. It's going to be Fluka and Cletus in row 3. In row 4 is going to be PP Yakcast and GLR Seal. In row 5 will be Tango 2 and Soroder Vieira. In row 6 will be Dan SN and Apex Jakey2309. In row 7 will be Choco and Nedward. In row 8 will be Hampton Fan 11 and Nacho Gearbox. In row 9 will be Lamine and Irish Jerry. In row 10 will be Bombastico and Delta Mike, and rounding out our field in row number 11 will be Racing Hobo here tonight. And 21 of our beautiful GT3 machines out to send this season off. T-minus 1 minute and 50 seconds till we start seeing our formation lap here, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, we're just getting nice and cozy in our commentary booth here. We're getting ready for the great action that we're about to see on the racetrack tonight. Aiming for P10 or better. Alright, good luck, Jake. Go get him, my guy. You know the deal. Pep talk is the same as it was last week, my guy. Alright, 1 hour is on that racing clock, and we're 1 minute away from seeing these drivers start our virtual car safety lap. 30 seconds will allow us to get on track with the cameras and get ready to send this thing off here. So it'll be about a 2.5 minute virtual safety car lap around the track, maybe closer to 3, and then we'll be on to racing conditions after that. Alright, we're going to do one quick, we're going to go jump into the track here real quick as we're now in our 30-second window. Ding! Alright. Now we're going to go check on everything here real quickly, make sure everything's moving and grooving. He's not mathematically eliminated. Johnny has a 10-point lead, but you're out. Gotcha. Appreciate you, Bloxom. There we go. 10-point lead between Johnny B and Josh Hart. So not that comfortable of a cushion here today. And, well, it all comes down to what's about to happen here over the next 64 minutes of racing, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. On to the big screen. Alright, so Josh Hart going to lead the pack around here for our virtual safety car lap in round number 8. Finale night here at Silverstone Raceway. Let's get some. This can be good racing. Silverstone always providing great side-by-side action through a large part of the racing track as well. So these drivers are going to be, well, they're going to have a lot of room to play here tonight. They're going to be a lot of room to race. So should be quite interesting to see how it all breaks down. Let's go, Jakey. Good luck, says TDC. Oh, yeah, the Winter Circle community out in droves to cheer their boy on here tonight. We love to see that. Love to see that. Alright, look at that beautiful lineup of cars coming down. 21 GT3 machines roaring around the racetrack here tonight. It's going to provide for some pretty fun racing. Now, 30-car grid provides for a little bit of chaotic race start. 20-car grid, not so bad. And very quickly, I think the drivers will find themselves with some clean racing air and some good nose-to-tail driving here, probably within, by the end of the first lap, potentially here even as well. And then it's going to kind of be game on from there. It's just about pace. It's just about making the move at the right time, tracking your opponent, learning, doing everything you can to try and gain what advantage you need to make the pass happen and gain another position on the racetrack. But it's going to be the front runners here tonight where all the pressure is on. Everything is on the line here for those drivers up front that are on the top of the tables here, and we're definitely going to be in for some pretty good nose-to-tail racing from our front runners here without a question of a doubt tonight, like we've seen throughout most of our racing here this season. Those top 4, 5, 6 drivers have been very, very close pace all season long. It's provided for some really skillful driving throughout all the rounds of racing here. Like, we can definitely say that. So again, we're going to sit in the mid pack like we always do every race, and that just allows us to kind of see everything that's happening up in front and behind in the pack at race start. And well, you know, we're just trying to catch all the action, that's all. Alright, so we're getting about ready here. We're at the midway point of the laps, call it 2/3 point of the lap here at this point now. And as we start to head back around towards the start-finish line, we're going to start seeing these cars line up 2 by 2. It won't be happening right this immediate second, but it will be coming here in about another 30 to 45 seconds time as, again, the drivers continue to navigate via radio communication with race control within the platform here. They are telling the drivers what to do, what speed to maintain, when to go 2 by 2, and all that great stuff. And the race start's really important here at ACC. You do not want to start off your race on finale night with a stop and go penalty for speeding or something crazy like that at race start. So guys and gals need to be on their game today. Jakey qualified 12th, LJ 12th, brother. Alright, so we're going to start seeing some 2 by 2 lineups here now, I think within the next corner or two. And it's going to be go time. It's going to be go time. There we go. JP's just backing off a little bit there, letting Josh Hart get through. As Josh Hart is our pole sitter, so he does need to be the one that comes through that start-finish line first. You can't pass until you cross the start-finish line. And it is go time here very, very shortly. So the drivers are lining up 2 by 2 here. They're getting into their respective positions on the racetrack. And we are going to be sitting in the middle of our pack here to start this race. So here we go. We're getting very close to going green, and we're just waiting for race control to make the call now. Alright, drivers are coming up towards that green flag drop here, and we are literally just waiting for race control to drop the flag. Everybody does look like they are in their positions, and it is going to be race time in just a few moments time here. You see the fans are getting roared up in the stands there, the flags are flying, and ooh, the anticipation. Green, 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 green. We are racing, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Hart immediately moves over to cover off JP there in second place as we come around. And here we go. Side by side is Jakey, almost three-way. A little bit of curve from the McLaren driver. Jakey's going to move up a quick position. He's up the inside of the McLaren very early on here in the race, and he's going to try and scoop up 2 positions there right now as he scoops ahead of Vieira Roder there. And now on the outside of Dan SN in the McLaren right there beside him. And a very quick start to the race there for the Bentley driver as they're still side by side up in front of Roder here. Vieira here, and Vieira's just sitting back right now letting this battle happen, and it looks like the Bentley is just going to get to run around the McLaren right there in a very, very early move there by Jakey, grabbing up 2-3 spots. Gets a great race start right there, and Vieira here, I believe, sitting now in 12th position here on the racetrack, and ooh, a little bit of a lag spike there. I'm not sure what that was right there. Maybe a little tap from the driver in behind, but that car boosted forward there real quickly for a second. No harm, no foul. Dan now putting a little bit of pressure here on Vieira, so Vieira now up a spot ahead of Dan SN here as well, and tucks right in behind the Bentley driver of Apex Jakey. And so far it looks like we got a car spun out in the background there. There was a green car off track there. I'm not sure if that was self-induced, but let's go see what's shaking down here now on our racetrack. So we've got Hampton fan 11 here. He's sitting in 21st position. He's behind the pack, but he's got some scars on the front end of that car, so it got involved into an incident potentially, or just went off track. We're not sure. We got Choco sitting in 13th position. That's about where he started the race here. Got Jakey up into 10th, so up 2 positions, and now trying to put some pressure on Tango 2 up in front. Yes. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. So it is Josh Hart with the race lead here. He's got JP in 2nd, Johnny B in 3rd, Vic in 4th, Luke in 5th, and Yakast in 6th place. So not quite where all the drivers qualified up in the front 6 here, but it is race on here. Josh Hart with a very quick, immediate 3/4 second gap over the Lamborghini driver, chasing him behind a JP. In 15th place is Irish Jerry here. Very quickly, like I figured, we're going to see this the field start to sort itself out. Let's go racing. Green flag, you know it, brother. All right, Lamine in 14th here, starting to show some consistency here on the racetrack as well. Had a great race last weekend out at Nürburgring. Jacast here with the best finish of his season. I believe it was 4th place there at Nürburgring GP last week as well, and he's going to be looking to capitalize on that. Currently sitting in 6th place, so that's a good run. Josh Hart with the purple lap as he comes around. Obviously lap 1. We're expecting to see the leader get the fastest lap there. It's Johnny B here in 3rd place. He's got JP just up ahead. He's got Vic in behind, but he's got a little bit of a cushion right now. 1 second to Vic, and he's only got just a couple tenths in behind JP right now. So nice, smooth, consistent. Get this car dialed in and hopefully start to close that gap back up to our race leaders here. We've got Dan SN here in 11th place. We've got JP in 2nd position. Now Johnny B could just be playing the mathematical game in his head here as well. It could be going, okay, I got this much points over this driver. This is what I need to be if he's here. This may just be a patience game here for Johnny B today. We don't know what these drivers are thinking, especially Josh Hart and Johnny B, who are battling for this championship title. But if Johnny B is only needing to be in 3rd place with Josh Hart in 1st place right now, he's doing everything that he needs to do to secure that championship as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how Johnny B sorts the race out here tonight. Delta Mike in 16th position. He's the only driver in the Aston here right now, and it didn't do too friendly to the last update to the best of my understanding, so good on him for toughing it out here. He's currently sitting in 16th place. He's got Irish Jerry just up in front here, and he's really trying to apply some pressure here as he gets a pretty good run out through the corner there. Gets set up for the next corner, but that McLaren's going to be a little bit more nimble than that Aston Martin, obviously through the technical sectors of the racetrack, so it's going to be interesting to see how that battle works out here as we progress. We got GLR Seal in 7th place. He's not too far in behind 6th place driver Jacast, 1.1 seconds here, the early gap, and we're still only on 1 lap completed here around the racetrack, so we are now moving here. It is Nedward up at 13th position here, and just in behind Choco, so a position gained. Cletus here in 21st position. Not sure what happened to Cletus here, but all the way down into the back of the pack there. So yeah, pit stop made, maybe some damage repaired there is what that's kind of looking like. JP's now the fastest driver on the racetrack here on lap 2. He's holding that purple lap there as well. Fluka here in 5th place. He's got Vic 1.6 seconds up ahead. He's got 1.4 seconds is Jacast in behind here, so he is definitely trying to catch up the best he can here. We've got Vic in 4th place and doing a great job here so far at managing the gap between him and the 4th place driver. He's going to get a little bit wide there. That could be a potential track warning for the drivers. Now with that being said, you're only allowed 3 or 4 warnings throughout a race here during race conditions before race control is also going to come in with a drive-through penalty for too many track violations. So the drivers really need to manage that risk versus reward here throughout the race, because race control is always watching. Tango 2 here in 8th position. We've got Nacho Gearbox here in 17th position. He's just starting to put some pressure on Delta Mike here. A little bit of a wiggle coming out of the exit there. Going to cost him just a tiny little bit of momentum on the Aston here, but it is going to be side by side here as we come into, I believe it's like turn 15 right here or something like that, coming around the second half of the racetrack essentially. And this is a very fast sweeping corner and a good clean move there from Nacho Gearbox on Delta Mike, and that's going to move him up into 16th position there over the Aston Martin driver. So nice little quick pass there from those two. We've got Sarota Vieira now tucked in behind Apex and Races Jakey, who's currently sitting in 9th place right now in the Bentley. He is in 10th. This is where Vieira started the race here, and he is still currently sitting in right now, and he is only 2.4 seconds off of Jakey. Is what that says? 0.9, pardon me. I'm looking at the wrong timing number. Got Hampton Fan here in 11th, and very quickly, as I suspected, we're going to see some pack racing. We're going to see groups of cars start to settle in here around this racetrack. Different strategies, different cars, different attributes, and different skill levels of drivers here as well, also on the racetrack. So right now it is Jakey here in 9th position, and he has Tango 2 seconds up ahead. Let's get back to what's happening up front here as we are with our race leader, Josh Hart, currently the fastest man on the track at 58.670 here right now under racing conditions, and almost at pace of the qualifying laps that we're seeing from this driver in the 15-minute qualifier leading into our race here tonight. We have Irish Jerry here in 15th, and definitely cars around, but everybody's chilling right now We got Racing Hobo here in 19th. We got Lamine in 14th, and what is it, 2.7 seconds to the next car up in front. So, comfortable spot right now. Just trying to keep clean laps, and we got Cohen flying off at the edge of the track there as the drivers are taking a little bit of a wide exit coming out of that corner. Alright, Jackass has Seal starting to try and close in here, so the Porsche driver under a second here now from the McLaren. GLR Seal is just under 9/10 of a second in behind here currently, so this is right now. Oh, and a mistake made. Oh, you hate to see it. Jackass gets it a little bit wrong there. He is going to clip the wall there. That's going to create some damage, as you can see on the side of that race car. How much damage is yet to be determined. We got what looks to be Tango 2 going to get around there. We got Jakey now coming up in the background with Vieira there as well, and Jackass going to settle into 8th position here. And oh, just tried to miss that wall and just clipping the wall with the side of his McLaren there. That was a great job by him to try not to get into trouble there, but now he's going to spend the next couple of corners, the next few sectors around the racetrack, really assessing how that car feels after that hit to the wall, and decide whether or not he's going to make a pit stop here. But that was really unfortunate there for Jackass as they come to start lap 4, and he's got Bentley all over the back end of him here, and Vieira chasing just in behind. So we're going to stick with this driver here just for a minute to see how this car is looking on the racetrack here, and see if Jakey's going to be able to take advantage here as we head in towards Beckett's here for that 4th time today as well. And it looks like it didn't knock that toe and camber out too much here on the front end of that car. That's kind of mainly what I was looking for, to see how that car was operating under turning conditions. It looks like it's doing all right, so may have escaped some serious heavy damage on the side of that racing car, and that's very fortunate for him as he continues up the racetrack. We got Johnny B here in 3rd place. He's 1 second in behind JP right now. He's got 2 seconds in behind Josh Hart. So 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place separated by about 5 seconds here currently from 1st to 3rd place. Then we've got Vic and Fluke in 4th and 5th place in behind. Fluke is starting to close in on Vic here little bit by little bit. We've got Dan here in 11th place, which I believe started in 10th position, so only so far down 1 position where they started. And you can see the group up there in front of him as well, so definitely lots to continue to push for here. We've got JP in 2nd position here, and that gap is 2.2 seconds to the race leader. We have Bombastico here in 21st position, and Cletus also there, and a couple laps down for both those drivers here on the racetrack right now. And that's unfortunate, but early enough in the race, anything really could potentially happen here still. Delta Mike holding strong here in 16th position. Nacho Gearbox is up in 15th ahead there. We got Nedward now down into 17th position behind here. And it looked like we just seen a move from Hampton 11 right there on Nedward, now chasing in behind Delta Mike. So Hampton fan now moves up into 17th position and trying to chase down the Aston Martin driver here as well. So a great little move on Nedward coming through the corner there, and I don't think Nedward even seen it coming. That was just an absolute, yep, okay, doors open. I'm going to take it here right now. I've got to run, get it done, continue on chasing down the next driver, and that's exactly what we saw there with that nice, neat, tidy little pass right there from those 2 drivers. Got GLR Seal here. He's going to benefit from, of course, that mistake made by Yadcast. Move up into 6th position here on the racetrack, and he's still chasing Fluke down. 1.4 seconds is that gap right now, so not too entirely big. Edward here, who we just seen lose that position to Hampton fan there just up in front here, down in 17th position. He's got Racing Hobo just a couple seconds in behind. He gets a run here back on Hampton fan now as we head towards Maggots and Beckett's on lap number 5 here, and he's just going to settle back in the line here for the time being. Try to set up a good run coming out of Maggots and Beckett's here and set him up for maybe a pass in the next S sector or leading into the next S sector, but I don't think he's quite close enough to make that happen. He does get a good run out of Maggots and Beckett's sector there though, and has himself within half a second of that Ferrari up in front here. So let's see if he can make something happen here coming into the next corner. It's a little bit of a sweeper. You just got to be patient here. Be careful with the when you get on your throttle, and you can see just a little twitch coming from Nedward in behind. So definitely pushing right now to try and catch up to Hampton fan here now in 14th position. And the gap closing, only 0.3 of a second between the 2 drivers here, but right now Hampton fan doing a great job at holding off the charge back from Nedward in behind. And as they come around that 2/3 point of the racetrack here, he is starting to open that gap back up a little bit. Cletus in 19th position here now. Oh, down into 20th there as we got Lamine in pit lane there getting a service. So, again, you know, just never know. Racing's racing. You got to keep going. You got to keep putting the laps, and you just never know where you can end up at the end of the day. We got Fluka here currently in 5th place. Looked like it was gaining a little bit on Vic in front. Now looks like losing a little bit of ground. So, giving a little and taking a little here. Each lap time around Silverstone right now. Got Vic. Vic's in 4th position. And what has he got there? It's about 1.3 seconds in behind Johnny B currently right now. No, 1.7 seconds in behind Johnny B right now. So looking pretty strong, and just trying not to let those drivers drive away any further at this point. Try to maintain the pace, maintain the gap, try to close it in bit by bit when you have the opportunity to do so. Alright, so we got Tango 2 here in 7th position. And again, benefiting from Yacast just getting a little bit wrong on throttle and losing the car. They're getting into the wall a little bit, so benefiting up a position there. We got Nacho Gearbox here in 12th position, and we're trying to figure out what happened to Yacast here. Where is it exactly he ended up settling in? Did he go in, make a pit stop? Yes, he's in 18th position, has cleared that fuel stop as well, so has pit fixed that car up, determined that it wasn't quite driving right there, obviously. Going to clear the pit stop early here with 46 minutes remaining in the race, and I guess really now the objective is to try and just manage tires and then see where you end up at the end of the race. All the drivers still required to make that fuel stop, so could work out for Yacast there. Maybe a smart little call by the strategic team in behind pit lane there, but we'll see how that plays out for him here as this race progresses. So again, all the drivers still do owe that pit stop, with the exception of the one driver here so far, PP Yacast, making that mandatory fuel stop very early on due to a self-induced incident. So Johnny B, this is the guy who's trying to hold Josh Hart off for that championship points lead here right now. 10 points is the lead, and I'm not sure. I think right now he is, if the race were to finish right as it sits right now, I think he's got enough to hold on to that championship here currently, but I could be wrong. I believe 2 positions behind is going to be enough to hold that down, but the race is very young and lots of things can happen here yet. Dan is in 10th place, right back into that starting position. How you doing, Justin? How you doing, my guy? Appreciate that like on the stream as well. JP, our second place driver here, just coming back late into the season and immediately putting pressure on the front runners here, but it's 2.7 seconds to Josh Hart up in the lead of this race. He's got Johnny B 1.8 seconds in behind, so he's got a small gap, but I wouldn't call it a comfortable gap here, as Johnny B looked like he's trying to navigate Nedward up in front there for his blue flag car. Bombastico here in 21st position. Delta Mike still holding quite strong here in 16th, and now he's got kind of a good gap here. He's got 6.4 seconds to Racing Hobo, and he's got a lap on the 17th place driver. So the last driver on the lead lap here currently right now is 16th place driver Delta Mike. So he's definitely got a cushion right now on the racetrack, and really just needs to try and focus on pushing back up through the pack here as he continues to charge with his Aston Martin. We've got Seal in the Porsche. He's 6th place, 4.2 seconds in behind the chasing pack, and the race settled very, very quickly into race pace situation here. So our 5th place driver Fluka here is 2.5 seconds to Vic up in front, who has 2.5 seconds up to Johnny B up in front of him, who has 3 seconds to JP up in front of him. So, and it looks like we've got Fluky coming up on Edward here as well. He's just going to make his way around up the inside of the final corner here, and that's a great job by Edward and Fluky here. So navigating this blue flag situation. Of course, blue flag car is giving up the racing line there. He's not battling with Fluky there. He's just trying to give up the position without costing himself any time on the racetrack, and that was a great job as we're leading into Meggett and Beckett. Fluky finds his way around, loses just a smidge of time on Vic up in front, but that was a great navigation of blue flag traffic situation right there between Nedward and Fluka. Vic up here in 4th. We just don't have anything really happening here right now on the racetrack as far as battles goes. It's Vieira and Jakey are kind of the 2 closest drivers here. Vieira is really starting to put some pressure on the Bentley driver here up in front in 8th place. So let's sit with this here for a minute as these two continue to work around the racetrack here, and Vieira is tucked right in behind that Bentley right now. You can take a look up the inside there. As you can see, the Bentley takes a wider entry line there, and it is going to be side by side now as these two come into the next sector. And Jakey still has just a slight advantage coming in, and Vieira is just looking all over the place here, getting that clean air, just trying to find an opening to get around that Bentley, but he has not been able to have an answer for Jakey up in front here in 8th place so far. This is a good little battle between the two drivers here right now, Ferrari versus Bentley. You can see Dan in 10th place here, just coming around the corner in the background. So if these two battle too much here, that may be an opportunity for him to get involved as well. Jakey's doing a good job here. You can see that Ferrari's taking a slightly different entry into each of these corners, and it's kind of allowing him to gain on that Bentley as we're coming around the racetrack here, and he just closes right back up to a car length in behind Jake right now. And this is a good healthy little race of attrition here between these two. No one wants to make the mistake, and the first driver that basically makes a mistake is going to be a driver that loses that position here, I think, in this battle for 8th and 9th place right now on the racetrack. I mean, they are about 6 seconds in behind 7th place driver Tango 2 right now, so the battle really is here. I'm doing great, Justin. Appreciate you asking. How about yourself, my man? Alright, so here we go as we come around the final kink to start lap number 9, and Jakey's going to hold off the charge from Vieira here for the time being, but we're going to be keeping our eye on that battle. We got Hampton 11 coming into pit lane. Looks like a scheduled pit stop here for that driver. Choco here now currently in 16th has cleared his pit stop as well. We're right back to this battle here. The camera crew keeps sending us here, so let's stick with it a little bit longer as we got Jakey and Vieira here now, again, just nose to tail here, and the Ferrari's just not giving this Bentley driver any leeway right now. He's like, yeah, I'm here, I'm still here, hey, remember me? I'm still here. So Jakey's doing a good job at holding him off here right now. Vieira has had moments there where it looked like he was going to try and make something happen, and this was one of the corners we tried to see that happen last time. We see Jakey take just a slighter, tighter line that time to go through to try and avoid the charge of the Ferrari in behind, but again, that Ferrari gets a really good exit coming out of the corner and closes back right up on the back trunk of the Bentley here. So the Bentley driver's got his hands full with that Ferrari right now in behind him, but he's handling it like a professional right now. See a little bit of damage on that rear spoiler package of the Bentley here as well as they enter that 2/3 point here around the racetrack, the back straight there. Here at Silverstone, and now heading into the final few corners is still Jakey holding strong there in 8th position. So let's get back to our race leader, Josh Hart, still fastest man on the racetrack. It's a 58.562 here now on the racetrack for our current race leader, and he is coming up in behind. I'm not even sure who that is at the moment here. I believe that's Cletus. He's rolling up in behind here now on the racetrack, trying to put him another lap down here in tonight's race at Silverstone. So hasn't been an ideal race for Cletus, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes sometimes in racing. We have our good days and our bad days, and the race isn't over till it's over. Alright, so we got something happening here between Irish Jerry and Lamine, and I'm not sure what that is there. I think a little bit of confusion maybe coming into the corner, but Irish Jerry settles back out in front there, and both cars look damage free, so that's always a plus. Got Racing Hobo here in 12th position, chasing Irish Jerry down, 4.8 seconds gap. There's Lamine here, 20th place, so that was what we were seeing there. Struggling a little bit here. Silverstone, it looks like today. We got Yacast here, who had a great race start, had a little bit of a self-induced incident, finds himself now chasing in 16th position, and the gap is 12 seconds to Choco, up ahead in 15th place here. So he's got some work to do right now on the racetrack, but 39 minutes on the clock, still lots of time to make it happen. Hey, how you doing, Sean? I'm not hosting. I am just I'm the streamer for the series. It's hosted by Infinite Racing League, my man, and they can be found on SimGrid as well, if you are a member of SimGrid, of course. So ACC PS5 version, and this is the final round of this season, but they have another season upcoming in 2 weeks' time. So a little bit of time to get involved. You're prepared if you're looking at getting involved there. So Infinite Racing League IRL, my man. I'm just a streamer here, so the server, of course, hosted by IRL. It's a private server with a password to get into these races, so drivers can practice without outside interference throughout the week as well. So we got Dan here in 9th position. We've got JP here in 2nd place. JP's looking strong in this Lamborghini, looking fairly comfortable behind this Lamborghini Huracan Evo 2 here in the game. But Josh Hart really starting to kind of open the gap up here, really starting to open the pace up here in the race. He's got 4.2 seconds now on JP. Johnny B's 3.3 seconds in behind this driver here. So seeing some separation now in the front end of this pack. Those paces really starting to spread the field out a little bit here. Got Bombastico here. Oh, and 239 getting a stop and go penalty for speeding in pit lane. And if I'm not mistaken, that is our Apex Jakey in the Bentley that's going to have to deal with that penalty there. Ooh, and Delta Mike's going for a ride here. He's going to have to hang on. He's got some dirty tires. He got that Lamborghini closing in here and behind him as well. And he manages to hold the corner well there, but whoo, that got a little tense there for a minute for Delta Mike, as Bombastico, I believe, is trying to get a lap back from him here and closing in quickly. We got GLR Seal in 6th position. You can see he's just navigated his way around Nedward in the Ferrari. There's a blue flag car in 17th position. It is Apex Jakey there that's going to get that stop and go speeding in pit lane penalty, and that is going to hurt his charge there as he came out in 16th position. Going to have to serve that penalty now within 3 racing laps here around Silverstone, and that is definitely going to drop him down in towards the backside of the field. So you hate to see it, but don't speed in pit lane is the lesson we're learning from that, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure your pit limiter button is set if you're still getting familiar with the game. That is really the key. I mean, obviously it's not as ideal because you can control it, get in a little bit quicker, get out a little bit quicker by doing it manually, but that pit lane speed infraction, there's no leeway here from race control and ACC. They do not hesitate to slap down that stop and go 30-second penalties. So that's going to be a stiff one for the Bentley to have to serve here. Got Nacho Gearbox here in 12th position, and looked like he was getting a little bit unsettled there, but it's just a bumpiness of the racetrack. So I was going to put Vieira here now up into 8th place. He's going to take that spot from Jakey, of course, Jakey making that pit stop. Got Choco here up into 14th place, having a good race for himself here so far tonight. So we got Jakey coming around here. And stop and go penalty here for him, and he's not 2 laps down, so I'm not exactly sure where the live timing is coming from on that one, but it's definitely not correct. So Jakey's going to come around here. He is going to have 2 laps remaining to give that penalty, and hate to see it, but if he doesn't serve that penalty, they will pull. That will be it. They'll call him off, and it'll be race over for that driver. So it's 10th place average Jerry here right now. Just moving and grooving. So he's kept it nice and consistent here in the race. His best lap's a 2:02.9, but got himself up in the top 10. Got Racing Hobo here in 11th place. He's in behind, I believe that's 20th place driver Lamine right now, and looking to get around this driver. You can see him flashing the headlights there to let Lamine know that he's going to go up the inside there. You can see Lamine just brakes a little bit earlier going into the corner there, and of course gives that position up. So great job there between Racing Hobo and Lamine as Racing Hobo continues up the racetrack to work on the next driver up in front there. We got PB Adcast now up into 15th position here, and a pretty big gap on Jakey there. We've got Johnny B in 3rd place. He's got 5 seconds from JP up in 2nd place. He's got 3 seconds on Vic there in 4th position up in behind him as well, and then Fluka is another 4 seconds in behind. So just a little bit of consistent race pace starting to really separate the front runners here a little bit, but the pit stops might draw these guys back tight together. It's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. Bombastico in 19th position. We've got Delta Mike here in 13th position, and again, just a slow, steady, consistent race here for this racer, and it's paying off pretty decent here as he continues to try and charge for the top 10. We've got GLR Seal here in 6th position. Got Nedward here in 17th position. We've got Cletus here in 18th spot. Got Fluka here in 5th place as well. We got Vic in 4th. Tango 2 in 7th, and now coming up on Nedward, who is I believe our 17th place driver on the track, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a blue flag situation right here between the two, as Tango 2 is on the lead lap, and of course Nedward is quote unquote a lap down here now. As we come across the start finish line, you can see that blue flag waving there. Tango 2 is just going to tuck in behind here, and maybe just not able to quite get around Nedward here at the moment, or maybe just waiting for a better opportunity, maybe tucking in behind, trying to save a little bit of fuel while he's got an opportunity here. It's hard to say what it is exactly that's going through the driver's mind right now, but it doesn't seem too too concerned right now at forcefully getting around Edward here. Keeping the car safe, that's the important thing. You got Nacho Gearbox here in 12th position, and 7 seconds down the road from Racing Hobo. We've got Vieira here, 9 seconds to Fluka in 7th place, but Fluka now in pit lane, and Vieira has Dan just 2.5 seconds in behind here, so some pit stops are starting to happen here. Got Choco in 14th, starting to put some pressure on 13th place driver Delta Mike. Oh, a little cutback move right there. And not sure if Delta was aware that he had made that move. A little bit of contact between the two cars, and they sort each other out here. And Choco gets it a little bit wrong. He's going to give that position back. I think he may have been trying to give the position back, to be honest with you there. And Yadcast is going to take advantage here now and try to get around Choco here and get a lap back on Choco. And he is going to tuck right back in front of Choco there. No, that was actually a battle for position, so I take it back. So Yadcast moves up into a 15th position ahead of Choco there. And oh, Choco goes a little bit wide there on the track. He still keeps it together. He's going to get it back on track. And boy, last handful of corners just have not gone Choco's way. He drops down 2 quick positions here on the racetrack, but he is still moving and grooving. We've got Apex Jakey here in 17th position now. It says he's several laps down. I don't think that is actually the case here, as he's in 17th position here. We have Josh Hart, still our race leader, still the fastest man on the racetrack. 58.562 is that time on the racetrack from this driver here, and that's about 0.4 of a second off what he had there in qualifying. And oh boy, we got Yadcast in trouble off in the background there. You can see that orange McLaren. The hood is completely buckled on that car, and he's still rolling it to a halt here in the race, and that could be game over for that McLaren here tonight. We'll have to wait and see. Oh boy, yes, that car is in trouble. This front splitter is just dragging on the racetrack here. You can see big separation in the front clip from the hood, and that car is probably not feeling too great here right now as he's coming around the racetrack. So not sure what happened there, but definitely made a mistake or got made contact into an incident with another driver. And I think we're close enough here to the end of the lap where he may just be able to get this car nursed around into pit lane here without a tow. But oh, it has just been a rough day of racing at Silverstone here for PP Yadcast. Just started to make his way back up through the field. And oh no, he's still got a little bit of track to go here, so it is still a long haul, but he's still got the car rolling here. And we'll have to wait and see what the crew figures with that car once he gets it back into pit lane. But big hit there, it looked like, from Yadcast. And well, we're going to be a game over here for him, I think, charging back through this field here again now with only 30 minutes remaining, but hard to say. Seen lots of things happen here already. Dan in 7th place here, and just kind of chilling right now. Got Vieira up there in 6th place, just up ahead. We got Vic and Fluka here in 8th and 9th place. They've cleared their stops, however, so looking to grab that spot back once some of the drivers up in front, of course, make their pit stops. We got JP here in 2nd place, and our top 5, 6, 7 drivers have yet to make that required fuel stop, but coming into pit lane right now to do so. That leaves Bombastico in 18th. That leaves Delta Mike here still in 13th, and he's now trying to chase Choco down there in 12th place. So we just got our halfway mark call from race control there. So we are 30 minutes through our 60-minute race here tonight. Steal our seal here in 4th position. We got Nedward here in 15th. We got Fluka in 9th after clearing his pit stop there. We got Vic here in 8th place. Much of the same thing. Cleared that pit stop as well in behind Fluka there just by a little ways. We've got Tango 2 here now up into 5th place, and it's 20 seconds to the Porsche up in front. And, well, it says a lap on Vieira here, but that's not the case. It's 8.8 seconds to the 6th place driver in behind. So Vieira here, Vieira, Nacho Gearbox here in 15th position, and holding pretty strong here so far. We got Paradise coming with a thumbs up on stream. Hope you're doing good, Daniel, my guy. Hope everybody's been treating you well. We got Vieira here in 6th place, and he's been having a pretty good race here for himself in this Ferrari. Again, doesn't necessarily qualify in the fastest, but definitely race paces very, very well. Choco is now up into 11th position here, also cleared that pit stop, so Choco's in pretty good fighting position here right now. We've got Apex's Jakey here in 17th position, currently has a 47-second gap on Yadcast up in front, but the driver does need to make a pit stop here, so that may help him catch up a few seconds time here when he does finally come across the start-finish line. and he's doing a pretty good job here. The stop and go penalty really kind of hurt his charge here in this race, but he had a great start to the race here. Now he's just trying to recover that Bentley after that stop and go speeding infraction that he suffered there from race control. And so far the drivers have been pretty prim and proper here on the racetrack. Just a couple of penalties called here tonight so far from race control. So Lamine here in 19th position. Got Yakas coming out of pit lane here in 17th position as well. Got Johnny B now in the race lead, so Josh Hart has cleared his pit stop, comes back out in 5th place, so Johnny B is now going to take over the lead of this race, and that has the GLR Seal in 2nd place, and behind him with Tango 2 in 3rd, and Vieira now up into 4th place. So again, drivers still need to make the pit stops. It'll be interesting to see where everybody settles out once that pit stop sequence has been completed. The question is, how much further is Johnny B planning on going before it's time for his pit window here in his strategy as well. We've got Dan here in 6th place. We've got JP here in 8th position after his pit stop. Bombastico's getting a pit stop cleared here right now. So is Delta Mike, and that is from 12th position. There we go. GLR Seal just coming into pit lane right there. We've got Nedward here in 14th position, and Nedward has been just fighting hard here and trying to put the best laps that he can in all weekend long here as well. Got Fluka here in 9th position and just moving and grooving, just cruising around here right now with that purple car and looking pretty good here in 9th place. Got Vic in 7th position and has cleared that pit stop and has a healthy gap over JP and Fluka, and shouldn't have anything to worry about here. Obviously he's in a different lobby, but for those that are watching this lobby and going, oh my, look at the great race we got going on here, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So let's keep rocking and rolling here. We got Vic. He's in 5th place. He's moving. He's grooving. Josh Hart here back up into 3rd place now. There's a couple pit stops being made by drivers up in front, and the charge towards the front of the pack is on here now from Josh Hart, and it's Tango 2 and Johnny B only separating him right now from that inevitable win here as they come around the racetrack here on lap 16. Nacho Gearbox here currently sitting in 14th position here as well, so looking good, having a great time here, and continues just to put every little bit of practice he can in on the racetrack to continue to improve and improve. Choco now up into the top 10 here as well, so having a pretty good race for himself here so far tonight. He's got Irish Jerry in 11th place and behind, and I believe that's some lead lap cars now coming up in the background there as well. I believe that is Josh Hart's silver and black McLaren that we see coming up in the background there, and yeah, have to see how this all works out. Strategies, it's all about strategies. Alright, we got Jakey here. He's back in 15th, so we grabbed a couple of spots since his stop and go penalty here as well, pardon me. Show Delta Mike hitting the wall. Well, we can only show what we can show, my guy. We're in spectator mode here, so it is a little hit and miss right now. We don't have a lot of the functions that are available on the PC version, on the PlayStation version, so we just kinda rolling with it. Alright, so Irish Jerry here in 11th place, Racing Hobo in 12th, Lamine in 19th, looks like +3 laps down, so a couple struggles for Lamine here in the race today. We have Yakas now in 17th again, having another mistake on the racetrack there. Got that car fixed up, back out 22 seconds in behind Delta Mike there in 16th position. So Delta Mike's doing a good job. He's just keeping it mean, lean, and clean, and he's bringing that Aston Martin home for a potential really good finish here for himself. And he hasn't been too happy with how the car has been performing here this season, to the best of my understanding, but he's still here fighting that car around the racetrack for the season, as that's what he's committed to, and could be rewarded with a top 10 here potentially, maybe top 15, pardon me, here maybe potentially tonight as well for his efforts, so that's fantastic. We've got Dan here, who's now in 3rd place but still has to clear the pit stop. So Josh Hart now back up into 2nd place as drivers have started to clear the pit stop. So at about the midway point of the race here, we're starting to see in the main pit stop sequence start to play out. not too surprised. Half the race on one set of tires and fuel, and half the race potentially maybe on another set of tires and fuel, and see if you can make up some time. We got JP here in 5th place and looking to grab a spot back from Dan when he does pit, but JP does come out in behind Vic there, so that was interesting. Vic jumping up a couple spots potentially here with a pit strategy. We've got Bombastico here in 18th. We got Delta Mike in 16th, and Jakey is 16 seconds up the road here right now. We've got Seal in 9th place as well. And our live timing is not updating like it used to either, I've noticed. So, interesting. We've got Edward here in 13th position. We've got Fluka here in 6th place, so losing a position here as well. But again, once Dan does make that pit stop, should go back up into 5th place. But it's hard to say. It depends where these drivers come out after the pit stop sequence. Depends how much fuel they take. Depends if they take tires, if they change the brakes. All those things relate to time in pit lane. If their car is feeling good, they think they can get the rest of the way, they can double stint the tires, and that may be what we're seeing from some of these drivers as well. That is quite possibly how we've seen Vic jump over JP there as well, maybe double stinting his tires here. We'll have to see if that works out by the end of the race, of course. Nacho Gearbox starting to put some pressure on Edward. This is a battle for position here between the two drivers here, I believe. Ferraris, yes, I was going to say McLaren for some reason, but these are two Ferraris here. And nothing doing quite yet, so let's just stick with this here for a second. Nacho Gearbox losing a little bit of time off the backside of Edward there as we come into this corner here. Can he make some of that time back up under acceleration? Not really. Just managing that like 0.2 of a second gap, maybe 3 seconds, 0.3 of a second here between the two. Just a little over a car width separating the two, car length probably separating them here on the track. You can see Dan starting to close back in there in behind as well. And again, he's like our 3rd place driver on the racetrack right now. Dan SN still owes a pit stop here in the race. Vieira and Tango 2 are very close together here now, so Vieira has closed the door on Tango 2, and these guys are now locked into a potential battle for 7th and 8th position here on the racetrack. And Vieira, again, just cool, calm, collected, nice and consistent on the racetrack, and has been having a pretty good race for himself here. Hasn't been picking up tons of positions, but battling hard, battling clean, and picking them up when they are available there to be picked up. And we're going to see a battle here between himself and Tango 2 potentially for 7th and 8th place here, so we're going to stick with it. We're going to see what he's got here in behind that car. So the cars are the same. It comes down to the driver's tune and their ability to drive the car here as we head into the start finish line to start lap 19. It is Tango 2 still with a very slim lead over GLR Seal there, and it's not +1 lap, that much I can promise. This is a battle for position, and it is not giving us a proper time frame. There we go, 0.4 of a second between himself and Tango 2. So all right, Choco round out top 10 here right now. Jakey here in 15th position, and well, what is it? Well, it says 0.9 seconds to Nacho, so he may be very close here, and we just don't see him coming up in the pictures here yet right now, but he has most certainly lost Delta Mike there, and that's GLR Seal up ahead of him there. One of the, of course, lead lap cars here in the race tonight as well. So yeah, I mean, what can you say? Great racing. Alright, let's take a quick lap around here with our current race leader, Johnny B here at Silverstone. Alright, drive-through penalty for track limits for driver number 54, and that is our 4th place driver, Vic. So there we go. We were talking about that a little bit earlier in the broadcast as well, and Race Control is going to slap a drive-through penalty down on our 4th place driver, and that is definitely going to hurt his chances here for a podium finish tonight. But it is Johnny B still leading the way here, and has yet still to make that pit stop, of course, as well. So Dan SN there as well in 3rd place, also still required to make that pit stop here yet, but as long as they make a fuel stop there, it doesn't matter when they opt to make that stop. So JP here in 5th place right now as he comes around with that Lamborghini Huracan and moving and grooving. We've got Bombastico here in 18th position. We've got Delta Mike here in 16th. We've got GLR Seal here in 9th place. We've got Nedward in 13th position. Fluka here in 6th, 1.1 seconds off of Vic, and has a big gap over Tango 2 there, I think. Right now on the racetrack, we got Vic coming in to serve that drive-through penalty from 4th place. Could be interesting to see where he places out after that penalty there. That is super unfortunate with only 17 minutes remaining in the race to have to serve a penalty of that nature, but you got to keep it in track limits, and Race Control, they are watching 100%. Dr. Gearbox getting something wrong there. We see him backwards in the sand trap there. He's going to bring it back out on track. And looks like he kept the car out of the wall there. We don't see any damage on the car, so he's just going to have some dirt to get out of those tires, to get those tires back up to temp, and he can continue on with his race here. So very fortunate there for that driver, which would have caused him a mistake, whatever happened there, but it looked like a self-induced incident. Got Vieira here, and Vieira is on the backside of Tango 2 here. It looks 7/10 of a second right now separating the two drivers, and we got Bombastico up in front, who's going to be a blue flag car to these two drivers here as well. So we'll see if that plays into the factor of this battle here, but Vieira's giving him a good push here right now, moving up into 7th place, of course, with that pit stop there of Vic. So it looks like Vic is still dropping positions here on the racetrack with that drive-through penalty, and you hate to see it. And two different corner styles there, and Vieira's going to get a run on Tango 2 there. Tango 2 kind of opened the door there. Vieira got a good run. Both drivers going to go very wide into the final corner there, and it's going to be side by side. No, Vieira's going to have to settle back in behind Tango 2 here in 6th, 7th place, and this is becoming a very active battle between the two drivers here right now. Mid-pack battling happening here between the two Ferraris, and Tango 2 is doing a great job at holding off Vieira here, but Vieira is starting to really apply the pressure here. Method coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing? Hope you're doing fantastic. OG. Alright, we got Vieira here, and losing a little bit of pace off of Tango 2 here. Not much, but definitely not right tucked in behind like he was just a few minutes ago. Choco's in 10th place here right now. Irish Jerry in 11th place in behind, and he's got Vic up in front there. We got Jakey here in 15th place here, and he's not 2 laps down. I am certain that he's not 2 laps down, but that's just the way the timing is coming up here. But in 15th position here, we've got the 2nd place driver, Josh Hart here now, our number 88 car, and he's just waiting for Johnny B to make that pit stop so he can see what is left to do. And Dan still owing that pit stop, but JP has made his way around Dan here as well. So Dan, at some point, is just going to have to make this pit stop and see where he settles out in the rest of the field here. He's probably going to drop some positions on the racetrack, but be interesting to see how many Johnny B. 2 drivers looks like still to clear that fuel stop mandatory pit mandate here today. We've got Irish Jerry in 11th, Racing Hobo in 12th place. We got PP Adcast in 17th, and yeah, it's just our 1st and 4th place drivers still owing that mandatory stop for fuel here today. We got just under 14 minutes remaining in our 1 hour long finale here at Silverstone, and it is right now looking like it's going to be Johnny B with the race win, but again, still owing that pit stop. So it says +1 lap. That doesn't actually tell us what the gap between him and Josh Hart is currently in 2nd place, because, of course, pit stop sequences have these drivers a little bit out of sequence here at the moment. And I mean, he's got nobody close in behind him here. We got Dan here in 4th position. He's got Nedward off in the background there and behind him. And JP is way up ahead here, so Yeah, some interesting timing happening here in the game right now. We've got Bombastico in 18th, getting that corner just a little bit wrong, gathering himself back up. We got Delta Mike here in 16th position, and it's Jakey up ahead there, 32 seconds up the road. So next position is a little ways away. Got GLR Seal here in 8th position. We got Nedward here in 13th position. We got Fluka in 5th place, and looking to take 4th place here when Dan SN finally decides to go into pit lane. Potentially he's made his way around Tango 2, who's now sitting in 6th position. We've got Vic here, who has settled out in 9th place. He's actually come out ahead of 15th place driver Jakey, so it may actually be a lap down here. Is Jakey right on the track with that drive-through stop and go penalty potentially. We got Tango 2 in 6th position, and he's still got Vieira trying to chase him down here, but the gap is a little bit bigger now, 1.2 seconds. Got Nacho here in 14th position, is 4.8 seconds ahead of Jakey there in 15th. We got Vieira here in 7th position, and again, starting to close it back in on Tango 2. So are we going to see re-engagement of a battle between these two here at this point in the race, or are they going to continue to work together to try and catch the field up ahead? It's really hard to say what they're doing here. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like. It looks like Tavier tries to get around at moments when an opening presents itself, but at the same time, he's not really putting any immediate pressure here on Tango 2 either. And I mean, 17 seconds is a big gap. But if Luca makes a mistake, spins, does anything crazy like that, it may be an opportunity for what's potentially starting to become this three-way train here, opportunity to grab position. Choco's in 10th place, Irish Jerry in 11th here. I'm not sure who's in behind. There's PP Yacast in behind Choco right now in the McLaren. We got Jakey here in 15th, and he's closing up on Nacho Gearbox. There's 3.6 seconds now, the gap. There we go, our second place driver Josh Hart here, and Johnny B has now cleared the pit stop, so there we go. 36 seconds is the gap to Josh Hart from Johnny B, and Johnny B just needs to bring this thing home in first place, and he's going to secure that GT3 Summer Series Championship here tonight. So we're far from over. We got 10 minutes 45 seconds remaining, but Johnny B looking like he's done everything he's needed to do here to lock down that championship here this weekend. So it is Irish Jerry here in 11th place. It's Racing Hobo here in 12th position. We got Yacast here at 17th, putting some pressure on Choco in 10th. We've got Johnny B. He has now cleared the stop. It's 4.6 seconds the gap between himself and Josh Hart. So it is a cushion, and that is all it is. It's not a comfortable gap by any means, but there is a small gap there nonetheless, and it's 4.6 seconds. So Dan has yet to clear his pit stop. He's got 10 minutes remaining. He's running out of time to hit pit lane there. It'll be interesting to see where he sorts himself out with all this. We got JP just navigating through some lap traffic there. I believe that's Racing Hobo. He just made his way around there. And, I mean, he's got 10 seconds, it looks like, there to Josh Hart in behind. So he's got his work cut out for him, but still looking to lock down the podium here in the final tonight. We got Bombastico in 18th position. We got Delta here in 16th. We got GLR Seal is all over Vieira here in the Porsche now. And this is now a three-way train here between Tango 2, Vieira, and GLR Seal with the final 9.5 minutes remaining on the track here. So I doubt that these guys are going to continue to play nice for very much longer. I feel like that we are going to be battle on here now between the three drivers. Tango 2 has a little bit of a breathing gap right now, obviously with GLR Seal starting to put some pressure on Vieira in behind. So Vieira has a tough job right now. He's trying to attack and trying to defend all at the same time. And that makes for some tough racing conditions for our Ferrari driver in the middle of this car sandwich at the moment. Nedward in 13th position. We got Fluka there in 5th. We've got, there we go, Vic just making his way around Bombastico right there, 9th place driver. Back up to Tango 2 here. GLR Seal has made his way around Vieira, of course, just after we leave that, he gets the job done. So GLR Seal is going to move up into 7th position. Vieira is going to drop down into 8th position there, and he settles in behind the Porsche driver. We got Nacho Gearbox here in 14th position. We've got Vieira here now in, 8th position as GLR Seal is up ahead there. So I'm not sure why the live timing hasn't quite corrected yet. It should as they come across the start-finish line here. There we go. Going to get that all sorted out. So it's GLR Seal in 7th, Vieira in 8th place. Joko's here in 10th, and it's not that far behind. 9 seconds, I guess, 10-second gap to the packet behind. We got Jakey here. He has 2.6 seconds here now on Nacho Gearbox, and he has over 30 seconds on Delta Mike right now, so no pressure behind, just trying to grab any positions you can here up in front. But it is Josh Hart here, our second place driver, fastest lap on the racetrack here as well, 158.562. But even with that lap bonus with Johnny B ahead of him, it's not going to be enough to knock Johnny off the top of the podium here for the season. So it is going to be looking like a Johnny B championship win here in the GT3 Summer Series 2. We got Kilt coming in with that thumbs up on the stream, my guy. We appreciate you. We got Irish Jerry here in 11th position. We got Racing Hobo here in 12th place. We got Yakcast in 17th. We've got Johnny B, our race leader here, and looking to lock in that championship here on the season. Here for a quick like and share, just waiting on bus head home move when the weekend finally starts. Hey, love to hear that. Love to hear that. Happy Thanksgiving, my dude. We appreciate you, Kilt. Alright, just checking on everything. Everything is looking fantastic as always. We love it when the equipment works. We love it when the equipment works. Alright, Johnny B here with 7 minutes remaining, just under here. He's got about 4 more laps to go around Silverstone here, and it is going to be another season in the books here from the Infinite Racing League. And our usual suspects fighting it out there up top. Come on, ACC racers, where are y'all at? We know there's lots of aliens out there to take these guys down. We got Dan here in 4th place, still owes that pit stop here too, and he is definitely running out of time, 6.5 minutes. And I mean, it's only a 16-second gap to Flukas, so I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to be giving up position one way or another here. Who do we got here? We got JP coming, 3rd place right now, and I mean, looking like should lock down a podium finish here today as well for his second race back after a little time away from the Infinite Racing League series here. Delta Mike in 16th position. We've got GLR Seal here in 7th, starting to put some pressure on Tango 2 here now as well. So put the pressure on Vieira, got the job done, got around, opened up the gap to Vieira. Vieira is no longer an issue here right now on this race. Now he's trying to put the pressure on that Ferrari up in front of Tango 2 and try to get the job done on him. And he's got 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to make it happen, to try and grab 6th place there from Tango 2. And again, good healthy little battle here between these 3 cars right now. And Seal is giving everything that Porsche has right now in behind that Ferrari to try and get the job done. So probably pretty equally matched cars in my opinion, I think, here when it comes to the technical sectors. And McLaren might be a little bit stronger on the straight lines here than the Porsche, but we'll have to wait and find out how this all breaks down. And boy oh boy, it's just tightening up here. Are we going to see a move coming into the corner? I believe turn 15 here. Nope, he's just going to settle in behind, so we're going to keep our eyes on that little fight here. We got Nedberg in 14th, Fluka there in 5th place, Vic in 9th. Tango 2 here still under fire. We'll get back to that yet. We got Nacho Vieira in the backside of that 3-way battle right now. We got Choco here getting it a little bit wrong there. He's going to take the run out lane. We've got Jakey here in 15th position, and I believe that Nedward, that's Bombastico up in front there. Where is, if he's only a second in behind Nedward currently here right now, we should be able to see him as soon as we get to a better camera angle here. So is there a lap? Is there something available there? Is there another position late in the race for our Bentley driver here? And it doesn't appear to be so. I think that, again, live timing is just not exactly giving us the proper information here today. We got Dan now in the pit lane to finally clear that mandatory pit stop. The last driver to do so here tonight. We'll see where he comes out in the field. Catch you in a few. Sounds good, Kilty. Sounds good, brother. All right, Josh Hart, still fastest lap on the racetrack. Okay, that's not good. There we go. We got that sorted. Here in 2nd place, and Johnny B just 3.2 seconds up ahead. So Josh Hart is reeling Johnny B in, but with only 4 minutes left on the clock, it's probably a little too late. But anything can happen. It is not over till the checkered flag waves here. Irish Jerry in 11th place. Choco is a little ways ahead of him by the looks of it there. We got Racing Hobo here in 12th place. Yakcast closing in on Delta Mike here. This could be battle for position. I'm not 100% sure. But Yakcast is definitely right on the back end of the Aston Martin driver here right now. Alright, race leader's coming around here. It's 3 seconds. Josh Hart's really starting to put the pressure on. He's really starting to put the loud pedal down. He just closed another half second up on Johnny B there. Dan comes out just behind Vic here in 8th place. He's just ahead of GLR Seal there in 9th place after his pit stop. So decent little pit stop there. Only dropped about 4 positions on the track. We got Jake in 15th, Bombastico in 18th. Delta Mike still under fire here from Yakast as well. GLR Seal here is in a 9th position there. I'm not sure what happened to Seal there, but he lost out in that battle between Vieira and Tango 2 there, and he has dropped a couple of positions as well, so that's unfortunate to see. And Fluke is now up at the 4th place here, so 7.8 seconds in behind JP with 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining. And it's last ditch efforts here from all the drivers on the track right now. Tango 2 still has Vieira starting to apply some pressure here again before the end of the race. That gap down to half a second. Nacho Gearbox here in 13th has Nedward 1.1 seconds in behind here as well. Got Vieira here in the 6th position trying to chase down Tango 2. This has been the case all day long. Choco was making a mistake there. He's off track, letting the leaders go by. You can see Dan coming around the corner there in 8th place, and Choco still holding on to 10th position here. Jakey in 15th. And we got Josh Hart here, 2.2 seconds. So, man, is he ever putting the pressure on Johnny B right now as he just continues to dip into that gap. I mean, it was 3 seconds just as we went through the field there, and as we come back, it's down to 2.2. He honestly needs about another 5 minutes on the clock, and there is quite potentially a battle for first place between these two drivers, but unless Johnny B makes a big mistake here right now, I don't think Josh Hart's going to be able to reel him in here. And 2.2 seconds is that overall gap. So as we come around to start the final lap there, you can see the call from race control. That is the final lap here. The gap is 2.1 seconds between the two drivers. So who's getting close? We've got Irish Jerry in 11th. We got Hobo in 12th. We got Yakast has gotten around Delta Mike and actually grabs P16 from him there. And they've got the race leaders right on their tail here. So it is a Johnny B here, and he's actually coming up to the blue flag traffic here right now. And this could factor into this battle for first and second place. Johnny B is going to take away around here. 2.1 seconds is the gap between him and Josh Hart. Already he's got a cushion. He's now got a lap car in between him and the second place driver. And as he continues up the racetrack here right now, he is about 2/3 of a lap away from a race victory, securing down that championship trophy here at the end of the season. And it's a 1:59 is his best lap there, 2:01 last time around. So very consistent pace here for the most part. Josh Hart's closing the 1.9 seconds now that gap, and he is still in behind that lap car though, however. So now we're at the 2/3 point of this race here. We got Josh Hart and Johnny B separated by 2 seconds, and there is a blue flag car in between the race leader and our second place driver. And as we are running out of corners here on this absolutely beautiful racetrack here in the United Kingdom, we are coming to an end of our festivities here for our GT3 Summer Series 2, and Yakast is out of the way to let the race leader through. And Johnny B just has a few corners remaining here, and it is going to be a race victory and a hard-fought championship battle here for him this season. So, here he comes. Josh Hart's just settled in behind here. Not even going to try and force an issue here at this point. Bring it home in second place, keep the car safe, and then of course bring it home here in this overall second place finish this season. So great job to Josh Hart here as well. He worked real hard and managing with the second place overall finish, I believe. But it is Johnny B coming through here for the race win, and it's going to be Josh Hart finishing very close behind there in second place. Congratulations to all the drivers here as they're coming around, and we're just going to get back to the garage here. So Johnny B, our race winner, is going to be Josh Hart in second, JP in third. It's going to be Fluka coming through here. He's going to finish it up in fourth place as he's just in behind Nedward here. And you can see how out of sequence all the drivers are on the racetrack now. Our number 111 driver is about to finish their race. We got their 69 driver coming through to finish his race right now. And we got Nedward just in front of Fluka here, and I'm not sure who the other car is. 86 driver, number 86 car coming through here right now as well. Might be the 26 of Tango 2 coming through there. It's going to be 5th place for Tango 2. That's a great race for him. Fluke is going to bring it home here in 4th place. Nedward's going to bring it home there in 14th position as well. And it's just a great job there by all our drivers. Tango 2 is going to bring it home here in 5th place as he's just coming around the kink right there. Vieira just in behind in 6th place, but Vic is giving him the business. And oh boy, who finished ahead there? The game's got Vieira tagged in 6th place, and Vic with 0.38, 3/100ths of a second away from 6th place there. Drag race to the finish line. Vieira just edging out Vic right there. Joko's going to finish in 10th. Jerry's in 11th. We got Racing Hobo in 12th. We got Nacho in 13th. We got Nedward in 14th. We got Jakey finishing out in 15th here. We got Yakas finishing in 16th. We got Delta Mike rounding out in 17th. Bombastico in 18th. Lamine in 19th. Cletus in 20th. And Hampton Fan 11 there in 21st position here. And, wow, that was some good racing here by all of our drivers. Alright, well, let's take it over into our podium interviewing screen here for one last set of podium interviews in our GT3 Summer Series. And while we wait for our drivers, we'll take a look at that beautiful intro video here designed by the Infinite Racing League.
Chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted. Look, faking the lead, we don't follow. We need it now, not tomorrow. Don't care what they say, not changing the pace. Working too hard to be last in the race. So much time in the day, and it ain't none to waste. Working this hard to be one of the greats. Whatever it takes, put that on the plate. Life is a gamble, we raising the stakes. Moving the bar up so high. Been on our grind for life. Bringing the light, you just so bright. We shining, platinum sound cool, but we trying to reach diamond. Hard work pays off, that's perfect timing. Changing the world with this rhyming is priceless. We got the nicest by putting the time in. Can't be the greatest, you're not even trying. What now? We on the chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted. What now? We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. What now? We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up.
Hello? Man, I lost track of time. I apologize, Mama. Go ahead and eat without me. I'm still on the grind.
I ain't touching home base by dinner time. All I can see is the finish line. Started, I gotta finish mine. It's get it time, anytime, hella long. I've been in line, I didn't mind at all. Wake and bake won't take a break at all. That's on my word, my boss. Naming lights gon' have to pay me twice or pay me no mind, and I don't mind at all. My grind is grit, I am my job to inspire. I'm right behind Goats, a line that's been fired by a chain for a time. I ain't get hired, second wind kicked in, I probably won't get tired. Kevin Gates or Kevin Bacon, only 6 degrees of separation between me and the next level of elevation. Perseverance, the art of dedication.
What now? We on the chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted.
Alright, hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And a little bit of a doozy of an intro video there from the folks here at Infinite Racing League. I mean, very, very well done there as well. So we do have our race winner here with us right now in the commentary booth, and I don't suspect we'll have Josh Hart with us, as he usually doesn't come into the interviews. And we'll see if JP pops in here, but for the time being, let's go talk to our race winner here, Johnny B. I mean, it was all on the line for this driver, especially here tonight. He comes in with the championship points lead. He knows that Josh Hart is pushing. He knows that he's going to give it everything he got. He knows he's going to give him a race here tonight. And pit strategy paid off well for him here. Went for a big overcut, a late pit. Gave him a big enough of a gap over his competitor Josh Hart there, and brings it home here for a finale win at Silverstone. So, congratulations, mission accomplished. How was your racing here tonight?
Had a decent pace. At the beginning, though, I didn't know what strategy Josh and JP were on, so I was a little nervous. If they were trying to run basically the whole race and with a splash and go at the end on the same set, I was going to be in trouble. I think, thankfully, though, they both did a full tire, new set of tires about halfway through, so I just had to try to keep it smooth and mind my gap because I knew I was definitely going to be losing probably half a second a lap to them down the stretch, but just had to try to keep it out in front, and thankfully we were able to do that.
I mean, qualifying obviously ever so important when it comes to finale nights, and especially as the points leader coming in to an important race, and obviously qualifying didn't quite work out in your favor there as JP got the pole position there, and you had to start a little bit behind, but got a great race start and managed to find your way into a comfortable position in third place. Now, when you were sitting in third place at the beginning of the race, knowing what your cushion was, your gap was from the points, were you comfortable also sitting in third place at that point in the race, knowing that it was only 2 positions that Josh was ahead of you?
Had some difficulties there. Accidentally hit the old mute button. No, I tell you what, I was never really comfortable knowing had I been started on the front row, maybe a little bit more so, but starting third with people behind me into turn one there, anything can go sideways. All I had to do was get tangled up with somebody, drop me down the order, and it was going to be tough to make my way back up. So, yeah, especially on the start, I didn't feel that comfortable. I mean, a little bit more so than if we were, 2-3 points apart. But yeah, it was still nervy, and I knew if I or JP didn't win it, Josh probably was. So I had to come out with a good performance and a good point home.
Absolutely. Well, first place finish should help lock that down. And before we go into the more important part of the interview here with Johnny B, we're just going to quickly jump back over and talk with our third place finisher JP here, if you wouldn't mind waiting for a couple more minutes, and we'll come back and talk to you as champion here as well. But for just a second, sure, we're going to go and head over to JP. We're going to talk to JP again, just coming back last week back into the racing scene here at Infinite Racing League and showing he has still got some incredible pace. Jumps in that Lamborghini Huracan Evo 2 that they've just recently released here on ACC PS5, and he's looking very comfortable behind the wheel of that car as well. Comes out here tonight at Silverstone and puts on another great performance here with a great third place finish. I mean, great racing out there for you tonight. You had great pace in qualifying. Talk us through how the race went here for you this evening.
Thanks for having me. For the race, yeah, it was really tough. I didn't have as much practice as I wanted, so it was a bit of a surviving race for me. Obviously, Johnny B, awesome tire management and awesome pace management. Also, well-deserved win. Very awesome driver. Josh Hart also was pushing it a lot. So pretty happy to be as close to these guys once again, and that's. I thought I could catch them by the end with getting tires and doing some good lap, but yeah, I got held up at one point, and I think that pretty much did it for me. But very happy with the race nonetheless.
Absolutely, and just getting a couple of runs in here at the end of the season. So, are we going to see JP running a full season in the upcoming season here in 2 weeks' time?
Schedules allow it, I will.
Absolutely, and that's what we love to hear. Again, JP is a very, well, as we can see in the last couple of races here, last week at NERB, and of course this week here at Silverstone, has very great pace and is definitely there to run with the top end of the field here this season. So we're definitely hoping that we get to see you for at least a majority of the season anyways next season, and really see you apply some pressure here to our our typical front runners here in the series. But with that being said, we're seeing a large amount of driver growth within the community here, and we're seeing a lot of new, fresh faces and a lot of returning faces from week to week here now as well. And do you think that that's really adding to the competition value here this season?
Absolutely. You have much more different driving styles coming up every week. So yeah, it's very interesting to see what kind of drivers, new drivers, are coming up, and it certainly spices things up. There's always some things that we don't know at the start of each race, and it's a surprise also to see who's gonna be the fastest at each race. So yeah, it's obviously very good news for IRL. So yeah.
Absolutely, and I mean, good news for, of course, all the competitors on the track as well to have, a nice full field of racers to race against each week. Seat time is always important, and of course, the league is open to all skill levels of drivers as well, ladies and gentlemen watching at home. If you're sitting on the fence, don't sit on the fence. Get involved. Great community here. They'll help you out. They get you in the know. Help you get these cars, the basic knowledge down on how to set these things up and how to get them into a race-worthy condition. And they want you on the track. They want you to work hard, and they want you to come out and compete with them. So if you're sitting on the fence, don't sit on the fence. Leap over the fence and come and join in next season and give it a shot. That's all you can do is try and come out and have some fun with the IRL group here, including JP, our third place finisher here today. Great racing from you as always. We always appreciate the absolute pace that you show on track and the great racing decisions, and it was no different here tonight. So any final things you want to add to your race night here tonight, and any shout outs you'd like to throw out for the viewers watching at home?
Well, shout out to IRL League for the organization of this race. Always a pleasure to race with them. And thanks for the comments also. I really appreciate it. And thanks for having me again. It's really a delight for me to be here with you.
Well, we appreciate you always taking that little bit of extra time to come and have a few words with us after a hard night of racing. And with that being said, we'll let you get back to your paddock with your crew and let you go celebrate with the team behind the scenes there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so our third place finisher, JP, and Josh Hart here, not in the interview booth. And of course, it's not a mandatory thing either from the drivers, but I got to tell you what, this driver gave hit 150% this season. He came in, he gave it a valiant effort each week of racing. He showed great pace, he showed great competition, and it was close. He let this one slip through his fingers here this year. Mechanical failure, like I said, in round 7 at the NERB, there really kind of didn't ruin his chances, but it definitely hurt him a little bit here coming into this race. But you know what? He came out with competition and spirit in mind. He gave Johnny B the best he could today, and he just wasn't able to best Johnny B here this season. But you know what? Next season's a whole new season. So to Josh Hart, congratulations from myself and the fans watching at home. It's been a lot of fun to watch your pace and watch your race so great and cleanly, and stick it up there with some of the fastest guys in the group here, including Johnny B. So I just want to throw a shout out to Josh Hart there. Since he's not here to say a few words for himself, and definitely can't wait to see what he's got in store for us next season here as well. But let's go back to Johnny B here now. We talked to him about his first place finish race here this season. Now let's talk to you about that championship run. It almost sounded like it stung a little bit there when your teammate took that away from you in the first round of the summer series here earlier this summer, and you really had a goal in mind to come and chase that back down and get that thing back away from your teammate. And a lot of hard work and a little bit of luck throughout the season here, and you find yourself having an opportunity to lock that down tonight, and of course great drive tonight helping you secure that championship. So mission accomplished. Happy with how the season went for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think you have to be happy with it. It was hard fought the entire way. Had Josh not had that mechanical failure last week, I think it very likely we might be in different positions. But he was outstanding. JP was outstanding. When Duck and MX were racing, they did great as well. So it took everything I had week in and week out to try to take this down. So it was hard fought, and they pushed me the entire way.
Absolutely. And now, with that being said, you just named off about a half a dozen extremely, great competitors that, of course, you're quite familiar with racing against, as you guys work together and race against each other quite often throughout different leagues here in ACC. But, going into, of course, the upcoming season in a couple weeks' time here, now you have all these fast faces lingering in your mind on that driver's list and the registration list from week to week. I guess what goes through your mind, and how do you prepare to try and defend this now championship moving into the next season?
Oh, I mean, we'll just come back next season with the same week by week approach. The guys at the top end of this field are too quick to look at it like a long game. You got to look at it week by week and just attack the track every week. And like I said, all the guys I listed before, plus I'm sure some new faces or some people that just didn't have the best of seasons, they'll be there next one, and it'll be a fight no matter what. So we'll just take it week by week and make sure we're prepared as possible and hope for the best.
Absolutely, and a little bit of elongated season here this season, of course, with this race here that we just ran being postponed early on in the season due to absolute terrible weather coming in. Track officials worrying about the safety of our racers as always, and allowing us to reschedule. But then, of course, we also had the issues with our NERB GP race week, and of course, track officials there having to make a similar call. So a couple weeks delayed. Did that help or hurt your chances in getting this championship? I think there was one of those races that potentially you were going to miss, and due to the postponement, of course, allowed you to get back on track for that race. So, a little bit of luck is what we were talking about earlier on there. Racing is a large part skill, and of course a large part the crew behind the scenes setting the race car up, but there is of course that 15-20 percentile of luck that's involved there. And you feel like a little bit of that came your way here this season?
I think it kind of balanced out actually. So I was going to be able to make the both races as scheduled. The first Silverstone race we obviously didn't get through 75% of, but I was running pretty well. I think I was running in second. Josh was leading, but we were really close. So I had a chance at that, and I was actually better prepared for NERB the week it was supposed to go off as opposed to the week it did go off. So, like I said, it kind of balanced its way out, and you have no control over the race postponements and stuff like that. You just got to try to be as well prepared as possible, and that's all we did. And the results were acceptable to say the least last week, and then obviously really good this week.
Absolutely. So get to rip that number two off that racing car of yours, and you get to put that beautiful number one back on the side of that racing car. So, congratulations on a very hard, well fought season. We spent a lot of time talking to you in the podium and interview booth here throughout the season, and with all those results and all the great racing provided, of course, allowing you to build enough points to hold down a championship title here this season. So, congratulations on behalf of GT45 Gaming. It's been a very hard earned and well fought championship, in my opinion, and I definitely can't wait to see what Johnny B is going to bring in that defense for next season. So, I guess anything you want to add to your season and the race tonight, and any shout outs you want to throw out there for the final time here in our GT Summer Series in the 2023 year.
Thanks as always to IRL for putting on the events and doing their best to get the events rescheduled we had to and all that. I know it's not easy on their end. It's much easier for us to just show up and race on Sundays. So that's not lost on me by any stretch. I don't think it's lost on most people in the league. So appreciate them, and as always, appreciate the competitors out there. If they weren't pushing me or I wasn't pushing them, we wouldn't get to the places we are and have the competition level we have. So that's awesome. So shout out to everybody in IRL, especially the folks putting it on, and I can't wait till next season.
Absolutely. So, a couple weeks before the next season starts, so we're just going to enjoy some time off and spend some time with the fam jam in the off season is the plan.
Yes, sir. That's about it. Take a couple weeks off and kind of regroup, because it does get grueling throughout the week and with the practicing and all that. So it'll be nice to take a week or two off.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again on a race win here tonight and a championship title earned, and can't wait to see what you're going to bring for us here in a couple weeks' time in the next series here from Infinite Racing League. We appreciate you for taking the time and come and talk to us as always, and we'll see what you got for us next season.
Appreciate it. And thank you for being on the call as always. I look forward to watching it back like I do every week.
All right. Cheers, brother. We appreciate you, my guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Johnny B. Bangin, our championship winner here for our GT3 Summer Series 2. That is confirmed. It doesn't need to be thought over the week and wait for those results. We had those numbers provided to us by one of our admins here from IRL at the beginning of the broadcast. We knew where it was sitting. He knew exactly what he needed to do here tonight, and he brought home himself a championship title. So congratulations, Johnny B. Going to see the number one sporting back on the side of that car next season, whichever car it is, of course, that he opts to drive. It might be that McLaren. It might be something different, but we'll have to wait to find out in 2 weeks' time here from the Infinite Racing League. So first and foremost, we just want to say thank you to all the viewers throughout the whole season who've come in, hang out, watch these races, and just enjoyed what we're doing here at the ACC PS5 edition of Sim Racing. I mean, it's a great platform, and again, the Infinite Racing League only continues to grow with more faces and returning faces each week, and we're going to have, I don't doubt in my mind, a very big season next season with some full grids, and well, there's a little something extra on the line next season than just that personal pride of winning that championship, and that's all we're going to say about that for now. Stay tuned into the Infinite Racing League socials and, of course, the GT45 Gaming socials for more information on the upcoming season to start and what's all involved there. We will have information posted in the GT45 Gaming Discord server and that IRL Discord server always. Of course, for anything that's happening ACC PS5 related and SimGrid, always stay tuned in over there at SimGrid where you register through the Infinite Racing League for all these amazing events here provided by this great organization. Again, partnered with Coach Dave Academy. If you're new to ACC, head over to www.coachdaveacademy.com and go check out what he has there for information. He has a starter's guide to ACC, information on how to set your specific wheel up, to give you basic information on steering locks and basic tune-up ideas for these racing cars. And if you really want to get into it, you really want to get serious, also providing professionally designed tune-ups for car combo tracks available for sale by the drivers, of course, to turn into their car to try and, well, take their championship drive up to the next level. So we appreciate you all. As your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, and as always, remember folks, you all matter because we can't do it without y'all. And, well, y'all wouldn't have great racing action if you didn't come and tune in every week. So most importantly, the viewers at home, we really appreciate everybody. You're the legends and the true heroes out there when it comes to our sim racing broadcasting. Thank you to all the drivers that have come and gone throughout the season, competed, and put on great shows for us here on the broadcast. Thank you to the Infinite Racing League and their great administration staff behind the scenes for keeping things moving and grooving, even under some absolutely stressful conditions with the technical issues and, of course, some of the postponement issues here throughout the season. They nailed it. They got it off without a hitch, and a great group effort from our driving community here at the Infinite Racing League. So, season in the books, ladies and gentlemen. The GT3 Summer Series 2.0 is done, and it is going to be Johnny B with the championship title. It's going to be Josh Hart in a close second place, and I'm not sure who that third place driver is. We'll have to wait for the results on that one. But I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving evening here in Canada. Happy Thanksgiving to our fellow Canadians here, and we'll catch you on the next one. For now, Ghost45 signing off, and we'll see y'all very soon again.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself.